Lifecycle Insights was built to help MSPs with their QBRs, more specifically to help MSPs align needs and pain points of their clients in terms of scalability, stability, and security with their specific IT needs around asset lifecycle management. In doing that, the MSP provides value and visibility in terms of budget forecasting and assessment analysis to their clients and drives sales and profitability for their own business. I'll give a very brief walkthrough of how Lifecycle Insights does that. And I want to highlight basically an abbreviated QBR process starting with an assessment. So before I would meet with a client, I could do a quick risk assessment and determine how they stand aligned with the questions that I've determined are relevant to my company. Now, this could be my stack alignment, it could be an industry assessment, etc. But I really want to take a look and see how I feel the client stacks up against the assessment. That assessment will report out to look like this. So it'll give an overall view for the client, and really with stoplight color coding, so red, yellow, green, we can see easily that there are areas where the client will need to address, right? We have at-risk items by category as well as by individual item analysis, where you can really go into item detail and see all of the places where we are at risk, or maybe some needs attention items versus maybe some acceptable risk items. So maybe they're aligned, they have some processes in place, but they're not necessarily aligned to your preferred process. So once we've done that assessment, then we need to prepare for the QBR by pulling all of the supporting documentation together. And we do that by grabbing assets from your PSA, and we do warranty lookups as well. So a couple features from the asset list is you have the ability to quickly swatch through and find machines where warranties are expiring or end of life. You'll notice on the right-hand side replacement costs, which can be set at the global MSP level for all companies, at an individual company level based on who you've chosen as active. So you can see here the active companies for this particular demo site. Or you could even dive into an individual device and reset that replacement cost if you have a special need. Somebody's got a high-end graphic design shop and they need more expensive laptops, etc. So once you have, we've pulled all the asset information in there, we also pull user information from Microsoft 365 and the PSA to make sure we can align licenses to see if there are any places where we're either not documenting in the PSA or maybe we're paying for extra licenses that are that we can help the client save money on. The other piece that we add that we can push into a budget forecast is contracts. These you manually add because these are not things that necessarily you would be replacing for a client, but you might want to help them in budget forecasting and working with your VCIO. Also, you might want to keep an eye on some of the things, for example, their phone service, so that when that's close to the license running out, that you might want to suggest your VoIP provider, for example. So provides value for them and potential upsell opportunities for you. So that's sort of all of the supporting documentation. When you've looked at their assessment and the assets, you can start building projects of what they may need moving forward in order to help get some of the red out, right? So I can build a new project and I can add dates, say this is going to take the next couple of months. I can enter a description and start adding cost. You know, maybe I know I'm going to do, they need 2 new machines, and we know the labor for that's going to be $1,000. But what we really want to do is go back to our assessment and find the pain points and say our biggest initial pain points are around these 2 assessment items. And actually we might want to add, maybe address some firewall issues. So we've now got the 3 largest pain points we want to address, and we're going to add specific assets that we can link to that'll help address this. So now you're really justifying why you're going to have these replacement assets to eliminate this pain. So you can see this automatically populates into the estimated costs above. And if they want to spread this out, maybe they want to pay for this in July and August to push it to the next quarter, you can easily move them. So I can put this in proposed if I just want it to be a suggestion, and once it's planned, we can put it into the other category, which will print out in the budget report differently. So then I can take all of this information to the budget forecast, where you are given both a detailed view. So here I can drive into specific projects, right? Or I can see the contracts that are due, or even the workstation network equipment coming up. And the budget forecast will look like this. So the detailed budget forecast categorizes each of these pieces in a high detail view. Also available is a summary review, so that if you have those years when you've got 2 large server replacements, you want to give them, a couple years worth of warning. Maybe have conversations around, do we want to spread out asset replacement to diversify when we're spending that money, or do we want to look at moving to a more SaaS model, cloud service instead? So all of these pieces help you have that VCIO conversation with your client, so that when you come back again, you can say, all right, so when we did the first assessment, we know what our results were. And now that we've done the project, or once we do the project, you can see that we're going to take these 3 areas, or have taken these 3 areas that were red. We did the project and they turned those areas green. So high level value add, you're showing your value right there for the client. And then when you do this for all of your clients, you also can get some analytics across all of your customers around maybe your stack alignment, to see who is using your technology, your process, because we know that makes it most stable and secure for them, most supportable for you. So really everybody wins there. So that's a real quick overview of Lifecycle Insights. If you have any questions, you can always email us, info@lifecycleinsights.io. Thanks and happy life cycling.